Hey, what's up, Ultra Connects out there in High Vibes? In today's video, I just want to talk about why the world needs more spirit and less of the ego, basically. So, uh, basically, why the world needs more spirit is because this world is ran too much based off of ego. If you haven't noticed, if you haven't paid attention yet, or if you haven't took the time to really look around and see the world the way it is and how it's ran, or the way society is being ran and how people are acting, or the way people treat other people, you know, it's ran by ego. It's basically, there's too much ego here. There's too much of that. But with that, comes the light through the darkness, and then eventually the darkness comes from the light. It's both yin and yang. But at the same time, the world needs more spiritual people. It needs you. There's a spirit within inside of you, and I've said that in one of my videos that it needs spirit. It needs the spirit within you, because it needs to change. This world needs to be a better place and not be ran off of the ego, because the ego is draining all the time. It's not really progressing towards something that's going to be beneficial for the whole collective of this reality, or this matrix system, if you whatever you want to call it. Basically, you know, all these jobs and stuff like that. It's ran by ego, and they get the illusion that, oh, it's about teamwork and stuff and that. But when you really get into the job and you actually work about it, is it really about teamwork and stuff? No, it's usually based off, it's still dividing and conquering people and actually getting people to be drained, low vibing, and dealing with people that are still dealing with drama and all this type of stuff. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there, have experienced this, where you go to a job and stuff like that, and it's like being in high school almost, where people are dividing. There's still like cliques and stuff like that. It's not actually about coming together and actually connecting with people. So basically, imagine if there were jobs that ran by spiritual people, people that are actually spiritual, and actually, you got time, you actually treated the way you were supposed to. You're not wasting all your time for something that's for the ego. You actually putting in your time and work for spirit, basically, and making stuff that is for spirit and doing those type of things. That's why I highly recommend anybody's out there become spiritual and become self-employed and base your business off of being spiritual and making a product that actually helps people and raise up in vibration and stuff like that. Like all these crystal necklaces that I got, at highvibebands.com. If you haven't ever checked out Brother Steven's website, I highly recommend checking it out and getting some high vibe and crystal jewelry, and definitely get you turned up. And check out Brother Austin's, spiritual heat soap. Spiritualheat.com. Check out that. He's got some high vibe and soap, but that's not what it's about. But it's about why we need more spiritual people out in this world and less of the ego. It's because well, back to the job thing. Imagine if it was the jobs ran off of spirit, and it was actually about coming together and actually being equal parted in the jobs that you work in. And it's not based off of just working to a grind, having so much time put into this job, but not enough time being outside and actually getting the sun charged and stuff like that, and getting yourself solar charged, getting your feet on the ground, getting your soul on the soil, basically, and releasing the unwanted energies within you, basically. Imagine if you could have the time to do that and people actually work together. Imagine if we didn't have to actually think about it. Imagine if we didn't have to work with all these jobs and actually people just agreed with working each other and not with all this separation in this world. Imagine if people actually came together and actually helped one another instead of being based off their egos, saying, no, it has to only be me and my family from my bloodline, but really we're all connected. We all come in this world one way and we all leave one way. No one gets some special ticket. It's everyone has to graduate from this university of this universe. Words from Astro, words of wisdom from Astro, basically. But it's like, become spiritual, actually change your life, and actually tune into what's really real, because it needs to happen. If you keep seeing the way things are produced in this world, like all the food and stuff like that, it's not there to benefit you. It's not actually going to help you, really. A lot of this stuff, when you think that you actually care about eating all these types of foods, at some point you'll actually not care about eating it, because at some point within your spiritual self and your spiritual growth and your spiritual perspective, a lot of the things that are made by the man-made matrix, you don't really care for at some point. You don't care about it because it's not something that's resonating with deep inside your spirit. Because the reason why it'll happen is because the spirit with me is the spirit within you. Because a lot of these things that are created by man isn't really in tune with what's really real, but it could be in tune, but it's not, because it's based off the ego. It's not actually based off of spirit. It's actually based off of making grids to entrap you, to lock you, and do all these types of things. The chemicals they put in stuff are meant to make you dumb. They try to make chemtrails and stuff like that so that way it can block out the sun and all this type of things. They don't want you to vibe high. They don't want you to be connected with your spiritual family And once you truly, if you're really truly connected with a spiritual family, and you don't talk to them for a while, you'll feel like you actually miss out on things in life. You feel like you want to be with these people because it's truly deep inside you. And if you truly resonate with the actually being spiritual and what this message actually resonates with, actually come check us out at reprogramthematrix.com and join people that are actually spiritual and actually like-minded and actually are dedicated to actually changing this world for what it needs to be, not for what the ego wants it to be. Instead of being a hive mind, be a spiritual, collective status where, we actually work together with different ideas and stuff like that and work towards a goal that actually helps and benefits everyone in this world. There doesn't have to be starving people and stuff like that. The foods can be healthy for us, where it actually gets us more high in our vibration, where it's not actually destroying our digestive tracts and things like that, and where we can actually have natural growth of things. We can be in tune with nature. It's just people have to start actually balancing themselves out and tuning their spirits so that way it can actually change this world. Things don't have to be the way they are right now. It's like things can change if you change yourself. It's one person at a time. It started with Astro, then he started spreading that message out, and we all started with asking certain questions in life and actually doing something. But you'll question a lot of things, but in time, Spirit will give you those answers. You have to be patient. Not everything comes to you when you want them to. You have to be patient. This spiritual lifestyle takes time and dedication to become what you spiritually destined to be in your life. It's not something that you think that your ego wants. It's not something that what you thought you were going to be. It's just what you already are deep inside of who you truly are. I said ours a lot. It's like be ready for what's to come in life, basically. It's like get out into nature, get in tune with what's really real, connect with people that are like-minded. Stop being if you are afraid, stop being afraid and connect with people, connect with your spirit. It's the reason why, if you are afraid of being spiritual and if you are afraid of that, it's just the ego stopping you, and it's a blockage from you actually gaining that spiritual connection. See, we all go through a certain stage where the ego tries to stop us basically from becoming more spiritual. The ego deals with fears, emotions, all these type of things, but if you are taming your ego, doesn't mean you don't have emotions and stuff like that. It's like having emotions make you human, make you spiritual, and actually make you feel alive in this world. But at the same time, it's don't let them control you, have your emotions being pulled by other people. Go within inside yourself so you understand your emotions, who you truly feel as a spiritual person, and not have these different outside sources dictate the way you feel on the inside, because that's what this ego and the MPA will try to do. They will try to get inside your PTU and dictate the way your energy goes, so they can start controlling you, manipulate your mind to get that energy inside you, so they can manifest things for themselves, so they can feel good about the way they are in their life, because it's that spiritual energy that does make you feel good. Why do you think is it that they try to take it from you? Why is it that you think that they try to stop you from actually connecting with it? Why do you think, start to really question the things that are going on in this reality? Actually question why the things are the way they are right now. Actually take the time to see, is this world really supposed to be this way, and all these type of things, because it is supposed to be the way it is supposed to be right now, because it's the way Spirit has planned it to be. Spirit makes things happen the way it's supposed to happen, and it'll contradict itself. It won't make sense at times, but at the same time, it all makes perfect sense because it's the way it's supposed to be. It's just in tune with the way the growth of this world is supposed to happen. And these agents will try to stop you from understanding that, understanding that, and overstanding that from all 3 points of your Trinity in the highest perspective that you can. They'll try to stop you, they'll try to distract you, they'll try to tempt you, they'll try to vamp you, they'll try to pull you back into old cycles, and it's like you have to be shielded. You have to always continue and have that self-confidence inside yourself, spiritually, mentally, and physically, with that love inside yourself, that that you're not going to let these people pull you off, basically. You have to be willing to, take the steps and not let anything ever stop you. You have to have the willpower. You got to have the dedication, the perseverance inside yourself to never ever stop, no matter what. Even if you are feeling low, even if you do feel like you want to give up in life, even if you do feel like you've fallen behind, you can't ever give up. It's always about continuing and persevering through those obstacles, because that's what defines you as a spiritual person, and actually dedicating yourself through no matter what, actually pushing through barriers, not letting the barriers stop you, but you break through the barriers. And one of my videos about actually talking about having the spiritual energy to do that. If you feel low and there's these matrix flux going on, don't ever stop. Those are outside sources that are trying to dictate what's in your inside source, and your spirit knows to a higher perspective that it always needs to continue to go no matter what. And you should know that you should always continue to go no matter what, even if you do, have something happen in your life, even if something does negative. If there wasn't anything negative, there wouldn't be anything positive, and if there wasn't anything positive, there wouldn't be anything negative, because it'd all just be a standstill. There would be no growth for anything. All this stuff is supposed to happen for a reason. And just make sure that you tune into your spirit, so that way you can get the highest information that you can. A lot of people want to get downloads right away from spirit. They want to get all the things right away, but it takes time. To get to where I am at, or anybody that's in the community, it took time. We all had to go through things to get to where we're at now. It takes the time and dedication. It's like going to a job, but instead of going to the job and putting all your energy to get some form of cash back, which is still energy, taking your time is basically, when you're being spiritual, you're meditating, doing these things, it's actually taking the time to basically, get in tune with your spirit and all these different things. When you actually meditate, go within, you start to get the clear message from spirit, so that way you can actually start to see this reality for what it is. And then you'll see how these agents try to come around and distract you with noises, because they don't want you to get this information. This information is meant to help you. And once you tune into this type of information, make sure that you always stay in tune with it. Don't be aware of the people that are false in the false lies, the people that are spreading misinformation. Be aware of the information that people are spreading and stuff like that. Get to a point where you can look into someone's eyes and tell that they're lying. Look into someone's eyes and tell, and be able to sense their energy, basically, to the point where you know that they're lying to you. Be able to hear the sounds and vibrations that are around you, basically, and see the ones that are trying to distract you and get you off your path. There are all these different things that are going to try to stop you, and no matter what, you have to continue. You always have to never stop, because when you can do that, spirit will see that, and you will get this momentum that nothing can stop you, because everything will try to stop you at some point. You will be tested. Brother Ugressor was talking about this. Things will test you. When you're trying to meditate and put out a certain message or anything like that, or even try, just like Brother Astro in his other video, when he's trying to put out a certain message, people come around. And right now I got people with saws, people started going around revving their motorcycles really loud. Why? Because it's the same thing in this hive mind mentality that's around us. It's these agents that try to stop a certain message from getting out. And that's why when you become spiritual and you actually tune in and you get the right codes and information, then whoever's watching this, you can start to put out the right information, so that other people can start waking up. Make that connection with other people, so that way it can really resonate out into the world. Don't be afraid to spread a message that's actually positive and actually worthwhile, to actually help people break free from the box that this man-made matrix and ego has created. Be flowing with spirit. Don't let something box you in. Be creative. Flow with be like the river. But, be also like the wind, always flowing around in different directions and things like that. Don't ever stop, because they want you to stop. They don't want you to ever, reach the higher perspective, so they can stay in control, so they can dictate your life and things like that. They'll try to control you and all these things, and I've said that so many times and over, but, it's just really what I want to say in this message, basically. The reason why they want to stop you is because they don't want you to see and understand things to the highest perspective that it can be, basically. Listen to the birds, they'll speak message to you, and they'll give you the right information at the right time. The trees will, everything around you that spirit has made, basically, and everything, that all the symbology in this world is meant for spirit to actually help you. Spirit created it for a reason, so that way it can speak to you no matter what type of era or time we're in, or technological. Spirit works through everything, so that way it can communicate with you and you can get that connection. Yes, it may be harder sometimes with certain things, but spirit always finds a way, because you can't box it into something and tell it that it can't do this or can't do that. Spirit can do whatever it wants. Spirit can create, it can destroy, it can love, it can laugh, it can hate somebody for doing something. That's spirit. That's why we can feel all these type of emotions, because the spirit within all of us is connected to that higher source, basically. It's just how strong is that connection with the higher source, basically. Really tune into that, basically, and really tune into what's really true. But that's all I want to say in this video. I really love all of you that are truly tuning in. My gratitude, my full love to my MC Spiritual Astro Solston for everything that he does. I really appreciate it, and to my whole Our Team Spirit Family community. And whoever's new to this and stuff like that, really just tune in and really see how your life changes, and really be that change that you want to see in the world. Actually be in consideration of what's really real in this world, because truth is stranger than fiction. This world is not what it seems. At one point I thought the world was just, I was in that drone mode where I thought, life's just, life. But at some point, I gained that spark of consciousness, and we all gain that spark of consciousness at some point. If you're truly seeking it, if you truly seek spirit, if you truly seek it, you will find it. ye who shall see truth shall find it. You know, it's a saying. I forgot where that saying comes from, but you know, if you seek the truth, it will find you, and you will find truth, and both those truths will come together that you have searched for, and it's like spirit coming back with you, and you finally get that connection, that life and that vitality that you always has been seeking in life, and you finally change for who, and you finally start to grow, and you change yourself, and that's when, you know, your life changes, you know, and you'll never want to go back. You'll never want to go back because you can't go back, you know, and that's the truth. But that's all I want to say in this video. Peacing out with my highest vibrations, my full gratitude, my full love that are watching, and basically, you know, stay high in vibes, stay shielded. Don't let these ages bring you down. Doesn't matter what goes in your way. Don't ever stop. Have that spiritual confidence inside yourself, and, you know, continue. Don't ever stop. It's like continue. Don't ever stop. But yeah, peace in and out.